Can I ask a procedural question, Sam? When we're talking about the various candidates and so forth, is the presumption that everyone's got their positions, you know, they've know what they want, who they're voting for and what have you, and we're simply voting? Or are people going to be making some statements about their candidates and why they're voting?
We'll go over that in just a bit, just so that we could, we'll go over it, and I have a slide for some of the procedures we're going to follow.
Okay.
So, but thank you for that. I'll make sure that we talk about that. All right, again, welcome everyone to, if you're here for the endorsement meeting for the Democratic Club, you're in the right room, the right place here. Happy Yom Kippur for everyone. We are not going to start the new business part of the program till 7:30, only because that's what we promised some of the folks that wanted to I guess get all the way through on with the sunset, and then we would be doing the new business part right at 7:30. But we have plenty of things to cover until then. Let's see. Still getting some more folks. In the meantime, is Carol Lee on the call? I know, Carol, I see you.
I'm here.
All right, and then Carol Lee. Oh yeah, I see you, Carol. Yeah, if we could start maybe checking on the membership.
That's Carol too.
Yes, both Carol and Carol Lee, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So during so let me pop up. Trying to do a bunch of stuff here with a lot of people. All right, so we do have some reports that we're going to cover first, and then we'll get into the whole endorsement procedures. So welcome again. Is there does anyone get a copy of the agenda that was in the email?
Okay.
I do have, and then if you can, also if you can, please put your mic on mute.
I'm on mute.
Background. Let me get our.
That's why.
Funny thing is, it's blank, but on the laptop,
Hold on one second. Let me get-
okay, here, I tried to call phone number to get the audio. There's all.
Yeah, if you there's so many screens on this. It's hard to try to see everyone, but if you could put your mic on mute, that would be helpful. All right. So first I'm going to put up our
Sam, folks also need to have their full name there. We can't have just a first name.
Yeah, thank you, Debbie. Yes, if you could make sure, if you could rename your screen so that we know who it is, so that we could make sure you're all set up with your membership.
Sam, I just got a phone call that apparently there's a whole bunch of people that are in the waiting room waiting to come in.
All right, let me see what this. I don't see them on my end. I mean, we have, we're at 49 right now, and I don't have where there's people waiting, unless they're in some other room.
Sam, was there a meeting number for this one? Marguerite says she's on the telephone, but doesn't have the meeting number because it wasn't in the it wasn't published.
This is Sandy.
Hi.
I tried to get on the regular meeting number
Yeah,
and that wasn't it, and I couldn't get on. And then Debbie Evans texted me this email that had the new one on. I just didn't bother typing in the new. I didn't know there was going to be a new meeting number because it's a recurring meeting that we usually have.
so can you give me that number?
Yes, so how do people get the number who don't have the new number?
The number to the Zoom number or the phone number to call in?
No.
Well, I
Marguerite
can give
has the
you both.
Marguerite has the phone number. She just needs the meeting number.
Meeting number is, let me make sure, it's 858-4705-5512.
Did you get that?
858-4701-55.
No. 4705,
Okay.
then
It's-
5512.
Did you hear that?
So it's 3 5s in a row.
Yes,
That's apparently what Sandy said.
Yeah.
Okay.
so that's how I got on the
Okay.
Zoom. But I can't even get on with my picture this time.
Okay. I was going to check. Purchase.
If someone could type that in the chat room, that would probably be helpful. All right. Right.
I just clicked on the link in your email
Okay.
and didn't use the ID and the password.
I think it's because she's calling by phone that she needs it.
Oh,
There we go.
All right. The first thing on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Are there any questions or comments on the agenda? If there's no questions, is there a motion?
Question on the agenda, how will voting take place this evening, Mr. President?
We when we get to the new business, we have a slide on the procedures, so I'll be putting that up. So for now, we're just going to go through the programs, and we're going to start the endorsement process under new business.
Thank you.
Sam, the endorsements are kind of part of the agenda.
Right. So do we want to? We could. The agenda right now, we're just going over what we're going to talk about. But if we want to get into the procedures, we're going to talk about that at 7:30. That's when we told people that we would be addressing the endorsements. But if we want to discuss it now, I have no problem with that either.
I just feel as part of the agenda, if there's a question, we're approving the agenda. And if we have a question on the endorsements, I would like to pull the endorsement for citrus. So that would be pulled as part of the agenda.
All right.
Now, I thought we were going to agendize each of the endorsements one at a time and deal with it. Because if that's the case, I also would want to pull the one for citrus and the one for District 1.
But there's
But
no,
I'm not sure what the procedure is.
So why would we pull it if we're going to be discussing it individually?
My question.
Right now, we're, Debbie, I think that's incorrect about the process. We're just, the motion is to support the agenda. Is there anything on the agenda that we're not going to discuss tonight? I mean, I think it's a procedural thing.
okay, if that's as long as it's understood that I am requesting to pull that.
Okay.
Point of order. Does the executive board and the president understand what the procedural motion is for that?
for the,
For pulling an item.
well, there is a, all right, so then let's go ahead and bring up that slide. We are going to, this was the procedures that we discussed as an executive board. And so we could go over that and see how we want to modify. Let me know when it comes up.
Blank screen. Oh, there we go.
Hold on here. Tell me if it's, if you guys are seeing that.
I see endorsement procedures.
Okay, good. All right, so the procedures for the endorsement was going to go, what we discussed as an executive committee is that only members in good standing are eligible to vote, meaning we, while we're buying some time, the idea is that I have Carol and Carol Lee going through all the names that are on the screen to verify who are the eligible members. If you don't have, and basically the eligibility consists of having your dues paid by the time that we're taking the vote. So if you're a member in good standing, you're eligible to vote today. Now, if there are multiple members on the on one call, like there's some of you that are sharing your computer screens, I am going to see if maybe you could text me what your votes are, just so that we could calculate that into the overall vote. And we could calculate each of the votes. Preferably, it'd be great if everyone had their own device and you're voting on your own device. We're using the Zoom polling feature to calculate the votes. It's anonymous, and it takes a percentage vote. So then, and of course, only the members that are here will be voting. There's no proxy votes. So the question then is, and we were gonna talk about this as a club. According to Debbie, the votes to determine with the first we're gonna take. We have let's take a step back. The executive committee met and made some recommendations, and those recommendations I'll pop up on the screen in just a bit. Those recommendations are then we'll announce those recommendations, as you probably know, and then what we'll do is if we do want to endorse in a race that is not that we have no consensus, meaning that the committee or the executive committee did not make a recommendation, we will open that up to the committee to ask, or the club rather, ask if to ask if the club wants to make an endorsement for that seat. And we would need 60% of the eligible voters to make that determination.
So that determination to make a recommendation.
Correct. And then what we talked about as a committee, and again, this is
Mine's off.
The candidates that have the executive committee recommendation, on those we were going to ask the club members to confirm that those recommendations, and that would be a simple majority. Now, if there is a call to pull one of the recommendations from the executive committee, we would need anything that differs from what the executive committee was thinking. would require that 60% is my understanding. If there is a call to pull one of the recommendations, we would need 60% of the club of the eligible voters here to agree to that. And then there would be a recommendation for another candidate, and then we would be able to request 60% vote on that. Is that clear?
It is the 60% in all of these cases actually written in our bylaws, or is this something the executive committee is recommending?
Debbie, do you want to answer that one?
Debbie.
You caught me just as I was moving. And so I wasn't muted. We're following it is Robert's rules, and at the same time, these are the standards established by LACDP, the folks that certify us.
Have we ever seen that?
What?
I mean, you're telling me now that LACDP has written rules that mandates how we do this process? Have we ever seen it? Has it ever been discussed? Have we ever, is it in our bylaws?
If they're silent, which they are, we can.
Debbie,
Go ahead.
if you could check your connection.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
No.
It's. How about now?
No.
I can put it in this chat.
Usually when someone's dragging, you can log back on, that would help.
That's true.
I'm sorry, what?
You may have to go log off and log on. That often cleans up that sort of problem.
While we wait for the log back in, are there any other questions on?
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
I'll be calling you Mr. Chairman since you're chairman of the meeting today, if that's okay, Sam. We still have some people who have just first names, and I don't want to. Is Shade Tramp that person's real name?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
They just sent me a text. So
He is my son.
Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you.
You've got me listed as Marta because I'm on her computer and I can't get you on my computer.
And I know who you are, Marta.
All right.
I got you down.
you never look better.
Can you,
But you're just not as pretty.
Debbie,
I
are
have to live with that.
okay, if everybody mutes themselves except for maybe Sam and I, that would be a good idea. That might help some. Can you hear me? Okay.
No, not really.
I don't know what to say. It is, as I said, we're following LACDP. That was agreed to during our executive board, that the 60%, that's the established standard. And also, it's not just 50% plus one, it is 60%. And if it's silent, then we can go back to the governing body, and that's what we're doing.
Andy, did you get that answer? You're on mute. If you can.
Yeah, I think it's the sort of thing we probably should have shared with the club before, but if it's really written, it's okay.
Okay. Any other questions on the procedures for the vote? Carla, I see your hand up.
Yes, I'm just not understanding the part about, you said we're voting anonymously and it's through the Zoom. Are you going to explain that at the time? Or,
Yes, there is a, that's my mic now, huh? So for example, does this poll question come up? Or, well, there's a, Zoom has a feature for a poll, which is a vote, which will pop up. And then everyone, once we confirm everyone's membership, you'll be able to click on your vote. Now, for the ones that are going to be polled, I'm going to need some time to put that new poll together. If there indeed is a, well, I would even need to put a poll just to go through the procedure to pull it, or to you know, have someone nominate someone from the floor. Does that make-
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
are you able to do a sample poll so the membership can have a try at it before they actually do one that counts? You can make up a poll that says, who will you be voting for president, Donald Trump or Joe Biden? And that will just give people the exercise of knowing how to do it.
Yeah, we can, that's a good idea. I could do that. But again, right now, we were trying to go approve the agenda first and follow the different, the various things that we have on the agenda for now, and then get through that exercise. So I'll go back to the original question. Is there a motion to approve the agenda so that we can continue and go with the reports, go on with the reports?
Sam,
Yes.
I move that we set aside all business except the endorsement procedure, i.e. that we skip the whole first part of it. It is almost 7:30 now, and we might as well forget what we were regular order of business.
Okay.
I second that motion. This is Sandy.
So that was enough tap dancing then? We went through that, we were able to buy enough time. All right, so to follow up with the question on doing a sample poll, there is a process to be able to set up a quick, I guess teachers use this, right? So
That's the only reason why I know.
let's see.
Sam, this is Gene.
Yes.
Believing in agendas and process, you have a motion before you to move on the agenda directly to new business. Why don't you have a vote on that motion, and then we'll be more regular than we've been for the last half hour.
I appreciate that. So there's a motion and there's a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 And any opposed? All right, seeing none, we'll go ahead and get to the new business. So so I will so that you could see the way the vote's going to go. I'm going to launch this one right now. This is what the poll will look like. So on your end, you should be able to go ahead and make your selection.
What's that? I already did it.
Are you on?
I bet I was the first one pulling.
Daniel.
Okay, so I have, so according to the poll, the numbers I have right now, we have 60 people voting. So,
Excuse me, Sam,
yes.
John Ammon is with me and he's voting for Trump, for Biden.
He's
I'm
the
also
one.
voting.
There
Just-
there is the one. So
When his vote comes in, just put 2 because it'd be Sandy Hester, John Ammon together.
Is that okay?
So this is the procedure thing that I knew was going to be kind of a headache, but because we do have, we've been verifying the membership. If there's anyone here who is not a due paying member, we could either, I want to ask you to either please do not vote in the poll, or if you want to go ahead and exit the Zoom call and then log back in or check in to see when we're done with the voting, and then we could finish up with the endorsements. But if you just want to see the way everything shakes out, you're more than welcome to, but we do ask that you not to vote.
Mr. Chair,
I'm sorry?
how do we control for them voting or not?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, there's no real other mechanism aside from if there is someone that is in here that is not a due paying member, we could remove them. We could go ahead and just have them remove, and I could go ahead and as of now, like freeze the call and have no other people coming in. So
Are there any more people in the waiting room, or? 'Cause you-
no,
it was
there's
7:30.
no one else in the waiting room.
Okay.
Pam's trying to get in. She just,
We agreed that there were some people coming after sunset for Yom Kippur.
Yes.
Right.
right,
It would be very inappropriate to close the call.
I agree.
So given that, so now that we had 53 out of the 62 people, so 85% voting on this point, I'll go ahead and end it, and then I'll share the results. So that's how the vote will look. Now, because we are there are some people that are
Two people.
sharing computers. The idea, and because I'm the one that's conducting the vote, I don't get to vote. So I'm not voting. But what I am going to ask, if there's people that are that we have multiple callers, I will call them and ask them to see what their choice is, and then I need to manually calculate that vote in. Is everyone in agreement with that procedure? Is there any?
Your decision.
It would be their decision. So I know so far I do have, and I made my number.
We'll just go with 1.
You don't need to call us. We'll just be one vote.
It's us.
Okay, yes. So
So you don't need to bother to call us, so.
okay. But I do have, for example, I'm getting text from, is it the Tramp family? And I don't know how many people they have on that call.
Yes, that's only 3 of us, my husband and I, and we can also count as 1 vote, but then my son is also on the line.
Got it. So I could call you on the number I have here and check in.
Can I just ask a question for the record? Carol, have you checked everybody, and is everybody dues paying? Do we have to deal with that issue, or can we ignore it?
There's only one. I don't know how to do the chat private. There's only one person that is going to be surprised when I say that they haven't paid their dues.
You can chat, can't you chat them personally? You can use a chat, just address the chat to them.
Yeah, do the drop down, Carol.
Use the drop down?
Yeah, where it says everyone, then drop it down and you pick the person you need.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, and then I just chat to him?
Yes, and then he will be the only person that will get it.
Yes.
Oh, I see. There at the bottom. Okay, thank you.
We'll get it.
All right, so given that, let me pop up. I popped up the procedure.
Where do you want to sit, baby? Here?
I'm gonna go get my computer and plug it in here.
Okay.
Okay. If you could put your mic on mute, that would probably be a good idea.
Me?
So is everyone okay with that? We'll go ahead and let's see, there's one coming in. Should we go ahead and block and no longer take in other callers? Are we good with that now?
Well, it's only a minute or two after.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, I
Not
think
at all.
Yeah,
This
you're gonna
won't
have
get
to.
lose us disenfranchisement.
Yeah, I mean, it just.
A
it's
simple
automatic.
no is fine. A simple no, that's fine. I could, I got it. I won't do it. But it's at some point we are gonna have to do that.
Yeah.
So let's see.
I mean, why shouldn't tonight be more complicated because it's Yom Kippur? Everything's more complicated. Nothing's simple anymore.
LACDP went till 3:30 in the morning. Because that's how we will do that too.
Yeah, let's hope not.
Okay, so now, so that everyone could see the, this is what the executive committee did decide on. Let's see, we have someone coming in right now. It's a call-in user. They don't have a name. If Carol, if you could confirm who they are, that would be great.
Probably can.
Let's see.
Hello?
I didn't see who that last person was, Sam.
Sounds like me.
That's Pam Casey-Negler.
Yeah, Pam Casey Nagler. I'm on the phone.
Oh, okay, great. And one more, there was one person a minute ago that I saw with a phone number that I didn't recognize, but I was starting to look.
That may have been, I tried to call on another phone and then I called on this one. So it may have been me.
Can you tell me your phone number?
552-5609. And the one I'm talking on is 626-1185.
Whose number is 621-5412?
Oh, okay. That's not me. I'm sorry.
So if you could private message them, Carol, that would be great, and see if you could.
Oh, I forget about that. Okay.
So the executive committee met a couple weeks ago and came up with everyone see the recommendations on the board?
Yes.
Okay, good. So the recommendations, we had no consensus for the first district. The committee did pick Sarasso for the District 5, Chris for one of the seats for the school board. No consensus for the second seat. Laura Bollinger for Citrus College, and Danielle Soto. I misspelled her name. I apologize. Danielle Soto for the Three Valleys Municipal Water District seat. So for the no consensus, there will be a vote ahead of time asking if we want to take a position on that one. So if we can, maybe that would be the first poll that we could take, or first vote, is to see if we want to take positions on the ones with no consensus and then start going through them. Is everyone in agreement with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure. Yes.
Maybe I should ask.
Yes.
Is someone not in agreement with that? All right. All right. So given that, are we ready to move forward?
Sam?
Yes.
The phone number, it does not show in the chat, and I'm not very skilled at this to figure out how to get there.
let's see.
It's area code 909-621-5, what did I say? Here it is. I found it. Never mind. I know who it is. They're paid.
Okay, good.
Who is that person?
It doesn't matter.
Dwight McHenry, or excuse me, Dean McHenry.
I mean, once they put their name on the screen. All right. We having fun yet? This is a little sample of what our national vote is probably gonna.
Oh, God.
Hopefully it is better. All right, so so for the first district that we, oops, sorry. So the first voting question is, should the club endorse in District 1? And again, this one would need at least a 60% vote to make sure that we could move forward on that. And then let me.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Yes.
I believe that your bylaws said where there was no endorsement, it was a simple majority.
They don't say that.
No, I think what Debbie was saying is that where there is a recommendation, there was a simple majority. Where there is no recommendation, it was 60%.
Okay, thank you.
Sam?
Yes.
Juan Matute. My question on this, on the various districts for the city council. How about those people who do not reside in that district? Should we vote, or is
Juan,
just the residents of that district?
It is an excellent point. However, we don't have the technology to be able to change that up. I think we're endorsing as a club as a whole, and I think we'll stick with that. But yes, if the people that live in that district have I guess your yes or no is probably stronger, I guess you could say.
But I do think that the club as a whole is making decisions in terms of who we want to endorse. We're not the ultimate, a lot of us will not ultimately be able to vote if we're out of the district. But this is the decision that the club representing Claremont Democrats is deciding who we want to endorse. And I don't see why that would be limited to the district.
I agree with Andy.
I'm going to go on mute and make one call to check on a vote.
Yeah, I think you should actually, you're gonna have to make two. Looks like the Tramps, where there's 3 people, and then and then what do you call it? Sandy and John. Do you have a number for them, Carol?
For Sandy and John?
No, for the Tramps.
Yeah,
yeah.
he has my message, Andy. I have messaged him.
Okay, super.
You have your phone nearby? Because they may try to call you.
Andy, when you're talking to John, you should mute.
I know, I just realized that. Thank you.
We We should have distributed wine or beer or something. While we're waiting. At least mellow it out.
Chips and salsa. Didn't you get the memo, Andy?
Yeah, yeah, right.
I should have put my list in alphabetical order by first name. I realize.
Didn't we tell the membership they were getting a 6-pack with their membership?
Oh, right, there we go.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the poll for the first question. Well, before I do that, was there anyone that I missed of the multiple families?
Mr. Pedrosa, since you call me, do I still use the poll for one of my,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
it's my husband and I? Okay.
Tim, this is Sean Winnick. Stacy McLaughlin and I messaged you privately. I just want to make sure you got R2.
Okay, hold on.
Mr. Chairman, you are, is someone from the club reading the chat? Because there was dissension in that from Mrs. Rosenthal on that procedural motion.
I replied to her, Joe.
I apologize on the caller who just mentioned that you have multiple families. And that you just sent me a text. Tell me your name again. I'm sorry.
Sean Winnick.
Okay, gotcha.
And Stacy McLaughlin.
And Sam, this is Frank D'Amelio. I also just sent you a chat.
So, if possible, it's easier to follow on my text because I have a separate computer here, and it's hard to kind of keep up with the chats because they're getting kind of all clumped together. So let me so if Sean, and if you could text me, that would be great at a 909. I'll put that down. I apologize for that, everyone, but hey, that's
And we're gonna have to live and learn along the way, Sam. Don't worry about it.
I'm at 964-2047. So if you have multiple families, it'd be easier, or multiple members in your family, it'd be easier if you text me. And I heard the comment about Karen she could vote no. If she's on one device, she could vote no. And anyone could write whatever you want in the chat rooms. I mean, as long as you're not offending people, of course. But the vote is the vote. I'm not going to count votes based in people saying making comments in the chat rooms.
So if there's multiple family members, we need to text you separately?
Bullshit. No.
Yeah, basically, the poll, you only get one poll per computer. So you'll put the poll, when you check that, that's one vote. If there's a second or third place in that household, then you text Sam and tell him that so that he knows that who those are. Carol will have checked out all three people, if there are 3 or 2 people, and make sure that they're dues paying members. But we're not gonna make someone buy a second computer because if they have one computer in a house and there's a husband and wife.
Okay, so, yeah, well, the three of us in my family are members, and yeah.
Well, then you need to text Sam at the number that's in the chat room and tell him how the other two
Okay.
votes are.
Okay.
Thank you, Andy. So where is that?
Stephen, can you come help me for a minute?
Pam, you need to mute
Yes.
your phone. You need to mute your phone.
I'm sorry.
All right, I think I made all the calls. Did I miss anybody of multiple families?
Sam, I don't, oh,
If you have, if there's only two. of
Sam,
you-
I have my family has 3 votes, but I don't know how to go on all these devices and text you and all this.
Just text a message to Sam and say, my other 2 votes are, and then whatever they are.
Okay,
You only need
I
one
don't
text message.
know how to text, so
Okay. Can you call me on my phone? Are you able to call me on my cell phone?
I can.
Okay, can you call me at 964 20
964 2047.
Correct. Thank you.
I got it.
Great.
Already on the screen. Hold on.
Hey, Carol, that picture of the Golden Gate Bridge is a hell of a lot nicer than the one a week ago with the orange sky behind it. You couldn't even see the bridge. That was just something else again.
It's a lot better than what my den looks like now, too.
Oh, God. I mean, I know exactly where that picture was taken from. I grew up in San Francisco and climbed all over those hills.
Fellow Democrats, while we're waiting for the tabulation, if anyone would like a window sign, if they don't have a lawn, I have them for free if anyone would like them. I have about 50.
I thought there was no campaigning at the polls allowed.
This is for our declared presidential candidate, Carol.
Oh, okay. You're safe, Joe.
We just happen to share the same name.
All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the poll for this one. And we have 70% versus 20. Versus 29% or 30%. So that one's a yes. So we are going to take a position in District 1. Did I share the results already? All right, here we go.
Sam, someone's trying to get in.
Okay. So that is the poll for District 1 to take a position to endorse. So I think it's going to get easier. It's just a matter of going through the phone calls of the people that got it, Frank.
Sam, someone's trying to just text me. They're trying to get in.
There's nobody in the waiting room, and I just let Sarasso in.
That's who texted me. Cool. Thank you.
All right. So now, just so that we could move forward on the second seat that we had no consensus on, which is the second seat for the school district. We'll take we could take a vote on whether we want to endorse a second person for the school district.
Mr. Chairman, point of order. Do we now go into nominating for District 1 or do we?
We could, or I was just going to get these out of the way first so that we don't have to come back to whether we have to make whether we have to hold an election, but we could go in that order.
Can we get a ruling from our parliamentarian?
I don't know if I'm still parliamentarian. I was for some years, but anyhow, I don't think that's up to us. I don't think there's anything in the.
I don't think it makes any difference.
Yeah, I don't think there's any rules that say which way you have to do it. Sam, would you rather just know where you're having elections first?
Yeah, well, I wanted to get the endorsements, whether we're going to make an endorsement to begin with out of the way before we went down in order.
Okay, well then the other one I think you're going to have to do is with the Citrus College is whether to accept or not accept the recommendation of the executive committee, because I think you're going to get a vote on that.
We should do the no consensus, get that out of the way. I agree with Sam.
All right, so the next vote is should the club take an endorsement on the second seat for the school district? And while you're voting on that, I'll make some calls.
Just think how much longer it's going to take when it's a county electoral board and they have 5 million votes to count. 5 million absentee ballots in LA County.
Yeah,
Want to guess how long that's going to take?
machines to count it.
And at least they're going to try to count honestly. God help us in Georgia and Florida.
Debbie, or others, is Debbie's microphone blurry to you guys, or?
Yes.
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 Yeah, I don't know if you can fix your microphone, Deb, too.
It's because she has two on at the same time, her computer and her phone.
Oh, well,
And
it's hard
each
to
of the
understand you.
microphones are picking up our conversation and they blur each other.
Oh,
Right,
that'd be
I'm
good if you could fix that.
I'm ending the poll for this one. And the results, including the first, did I miss anyone? Okay, seeing none. Yes, 72% yes, and 38% no. So we'll take a position on the second seat as well. All right, so now we could go back and start with the seats and go down in order with the process. Are we ready for that?
Yeah, let me just ask a procedural question. There are two ways with, let's say, District 1, for example, and it'll be the same with the school district. When you have two candidates, we could simply let people vote for the two candidates and see if anybody breaks 60%. Or you could do a yes, or you could go by candidate, yes and no, and see if if anyone crosses 60%. How do you want to do it?
Well, the way that the poll question is set up as, well, I need to set it up. So it's however way we want to do it. Is there any?
Sam,
Yes.
the way we had it before is that we put the candidates up. There's three choices. We have each one of the candidates and then again, no endorsement.
Well, but we've decided the endorsement is, we've decided the endorsement.
I don't mean no endorsement. I apologize. Abstain. I apologize. Abstain.
Yeah, because otherwise you're not.
Yeah, I didn't mean that.
60% if you have a third choice.
So we want to add, so the way I have it set up is for District 1, two candidates, and it's pick one or the other, but you're saying that we should add abstain?
Yes.
Everyone okay with that?
Point of order.
Go ahead.
Debbie, tell me if I'm wrong or not, but the way LACDP does it is there's a nomination from the floor. There has to be someone to second it, and then 3 in favor, 3. I mean, are the candidates going to be able to speak to the body in order as to why they're the better candidate? Because essentially this process, by giving it to the membership, the executive board, has said, we come to no conclusion on this. So in essence, the membership becomes the executive body. And I think that the membership needs to hear the qualifications of each of if a candidate is nominated.
We already did that.
We already did that. We already had all the candidates.
Okay. Some people weren't here. We have all these new members, Sam.
Well, that's their problem. They probably should have joined earlier if they wanted to hear the candidates. So you can't have it both ways. But I have the abstention is simply going to get recorded because if they just don't vote for one of the candidates. What I want to make sure is that we don't set up a situation just where numerically nobody can get 60% because you're trying to divide things up 3 ways. Candidate A, candidate B, and abstain. I mean, if they abstain, they just don't have to vote, period.
Right.
You don't need a third option, just don't vote.
may I make a comment? I mean, I agree with that. I think that the challenge is we have decided that we are endorsing. So we just voted that we are endorsing. So if you choose not to vote, then that's one thing. But if we split the vote, then like we're saying, you know, we're not going out of however people happen to be on the call, right? We're going out of however many people vote, like percentage wise, yes versus no. So I think it makes more sense to put out each candidate and say yes or no for one candidate,
No.
and yes or no for the next. And if either one gets more than 60%,
No, they need to be both on the same.
Yeah.
Vote for
but
each one of the
we
candidates.
can't have an abstain. We can't have an abstain. The people who wanted to abstain already had a vote. That vote lost. We're not abstaining on endorsing.
They, fine, then we need to just do the two candidates,
Yeah, I agree.
one way or the other. You can't do two votes for each of the candidate.
So that's how I have the vote set up. So I'll go ahead and launch that, and we could all vote, and then I'll be please, if you're texting me, that's really helpful. If you could continue to text me your position, and I'll count that in, and then I'll call the other ones that I'm calling.
Sam, are you taking emails or only texts?
I'm only taking texts.
Okay, wait a minute.
But for but Karen, just so you know, it's for families that have the multiple members that are on the call, and everyone else is being asked to vote on the poll. All right, are we ready for this poll or this vote? All right, here we go.
Yes.
Okay, last call for calling the vote. Is there anyone who I haven't called or received text from?
Sam, Sean Winnick, just confirming you received my text.
Yes, thank you.
And mine,
Who's that?
Rosenthal.
Karen,
Tramp, did you get ours?
I did get yours.
Thank you.
I'm responding with thank you if
I didn't get a response.
okay. So Karen, let me, are you texting me, Karen?
Yep. I was emailing you for the first two votes. Now I just texted you. What's your phone number, Sam?
909-964-2047.
Let me check. Okay, that's not the number I have.
909-964.
No, I will have to put it in my. Sorry.
This is a patient group, Karen.
Sharon, don't wait for her to text. You can see for yourself what.
Okay. Text Sam. Okay, hang on. It didn't come up. Why didn't it come up? Oh,
you just hit that. That's it.
but that's an email.
It's a message.
Super Girl said, this is Anna
Oh,
Trump.
just
You
say,
did my
you know
text,
who
right?
I'm voting for. Michael.
Yeah, she's voting for me.
Sorry.
I'm just announcing my candidacy.
That's all we need, Michael.
Okay, well, it didn't go in, Sam. Sorry.
You're messaging.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Okay, now just say what you want to say.
Nina Ryden worked for Lisa Murkowski.
Cindy Makowski.
No, Lisa,
Oh, Lisa Makowski.
the Alaskan senator.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Did you get it?
Got it, yes.
Thank you.
And you did one online.
I did two online, but it's okay. You've already counted them and whatever. I'm talking about prior votes.
Got it. Okay,
Mr. Pedrosa, you counted the Trump vote, right?
yes, I did.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to end this vote and then I'm going to make some calculations. So hold on. All right, so we had a total of 61. Okay, with the additional calls, it's Christine 72% and Zachary 37%. So we get the club will endorse Christine. Do we need a motion for to confirm?
I think you've had a vote, so I
Yeah.
don't think you need a motion.
All right, so congratulations to Christine.
The numbers don't match here.
That's because he's got the other ones that he did by text.
Okay, well, you're doing 70 some and 30 some, and that comes over 100.
That's a good point.
It's 72, 37.7. 72,
72 and 37 is 109.
no, I'm sorry. There's a total of
66.
Are you talking about percentage or raw vote total?
And what's the raw vote?
okay, hold on.
Just a minute.
So there's a total of 67 votes, 44 for Christine and 23 votes for Zachary. And so that's a 66% versus 34%. Does someone want to check my math on that?
65.
That sounds good.
Sounds right.
Looks good.
I need a math teacher here.
Okay, that's been a long time.
Philosophy and English, I think is what you're gonna find here, Sam.
Yeah, what I'm doing is I have a total that, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 other votes that I'm counting, but those are not everyone is voting. So up to 9 more votes.
Total number of votes,
I'm sorry?
total votes, 67.
67 was the total votes, total amount of people that voted yes.
And then total number, Christine,
44,
and how many for Zach?
23.
Got it.
Okay. So we're good with that one? All right. I feel like if we were at meeting in person, I would be like, okay, it's time for a break, but we'll power through. All right, the second endorsement is for District 5, and that one did have a recommendation from the executive committee for Mike Sarasso. Let me prop that one up.
So I think basically the procedure is you need
Move to approve.
out if it's acceptable. If there's an objection, then we have to move to other things. But
So on this one, the way I have it is, so I'll launch it just so that we could see it. What Debbie asked me to do is that we have a yes, no, and then an abstain on this one. Is everyone okay with that, with having it set up that way? Or any objections to that setup?
do we need a 60% on this again?
On this one, according to the rules or according to what I worked on, it's a simple majority. It's a 50%.
Okay.
So for those that are on, if you could text me, if you can, your vote, if you want to participate in this one.
What are we voting on?
Whether you want to endorse Sarasso or not, or you don't have an opinion.
Say I'm going to put the
Chip, you should
ballot
have-
up on the screen?
He did already. You should have gotten it.
I didn't see it.
I
That's a
did not
quick-
see it there.
Yeah, you need to put it up again, Sam.
Are you not seeing it up on the screen?
Not now.
Who's
No.
there?
Hello, Sam. Hello, Sam.
Maybe you should clear it and then send it again. Clear it.
So we get to place.
Sam, have you put it up a second time or what are you doing? Has everybody,
No, on my screen, it shows that it's up.
okay, does everybody have it?
No, I've already voted and submitted.
Yes. I have
Oh,
it.
I never got it.
Submitted.
It should be up on the screen.
Never got it.
Okay, then. Sandy, if you did, I mean, I think we can trust each other. If you didn't get it, then why don't you, when you text for your second person, just tell Sam that you're texting for both of you, whatever your vote is. Did anyone else not get the poll?
I got it.
Okay.
I got it the second time.
Okay. Well, Sam, that could be a problem because is the tally that Zoom makes only going to do the second one, or is it going to incorporate both? That's a good question.
I never took it down.
You never took it down.
I
Okay,
never took it down.
it's only up there.
Yeah.
It should-
I went away as soon as I click submit.
Let's see, did I get everyone's vote online? I think I'm missing, Emma?
John,
And Sean?
that's Sandy's. Sandy and John.
Did you text me?
No, we're gonna pass on
Okay.
voting. We abstain.
No problem. All right, so I'll go ahead and end the poll on this one. And let me do some calculations here. We had a total of 58 people. Well, hold on. Got a total of 67 people vote on this one. So the total amount of voters on this one was 67. And we had 38 that voted on the screen and an additional 6 that voted yes, so that's 44. There's a 65% yes, or 66 rather. Any questions on this tally?
So that means we do endorse Sarasa.
So he's in it. Yeah, that abstain one does throw it off, by the way, but just so that we know.
Yes.
All right, so we have Mike Sarasso then for endorsement for the 5th district. Okay. Everyone good so far?
Okay.
We're moving along. All right, so the next one we have is for Citrus College Board. We have the committee did endorse or did nominate Laura Bollinger for this one. Do we want to do the, let's see, well, might as well just go through the process.
My understanding from our bylaws is that if there's an objection when it gets to the club, then we have to vote between the candidates. That is basically if you had unanimity, if the club unanimously accepted the executive board's recommendation, then it stands. But if there are objections from the floor to this, then we have to have a vote between the candidates. That's my understanding, unless someone has a different understanding.
Since there is a recommendation from the executive committee, shouldn't we post that question, the yes, no, or abstain? And if there is a lack of 60%, then we could go to, or we're doing 50% on those. And then if there's if the no's outweigh the yeses, then we take it back to the club. Wouldn't that be the procedure?
Yes, sounds good.
Yeah, yeah, that was not how I read the bylaws, but
I heard somebody say to pull a recommendation. What does that mean?
That we decided on the floor, and a couple of us were doing that.
So if we want to do that route, then I would have to set up a new question that we would need 60% of everyone to, if we want to pull the recommendation from the executive committee, and then proceed if that's.
Sam, if this was the case, why didn't we know about this in the beginning? Right in the beginning, we should have known. And we should have then known that we could do this in any of the situations. This is not right. It is not fair. Without people knowing this, they had no chance to pull something. This is really unfair. And I think you're going to lose people on this.
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
Well, yeah, but can I be, before you get into
Point of order.
it,
Point of order,
as a parliamentarian?
Point of order proceeds.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Okay, but
Mr. Chair, was the point that Mrs. Keith just brought up explained to the club at the beginning, and you decided not to do that?
That's correct.
You want that to go on the record. So Sue explained, and the chair decided to not do it, follow it that way that you were recommending.
We no, because we decided the way I recall it, recall that we decided that we would approve the agenda and get to that question when we come to the new business.
And I think, a couple of us identified at the very, very beginning that we were intending to pull this one. So we knew that was coming.
Okay, so on this one, again, I'll follow whatever I'm being asked of, either from our parliamentary or from the wishes of the club. But I think we'll allow discussion on it if it is something that is different on it. Or do we want to proceed with the other seats first and then come back to this one?
Let's just finish it, I think. I think we've established a precedent with District 1, that is where we let people vote for person A, person B, or abstain. And since we did that with District 1, I think this is basically the same sort of thing. They, everybody votes, and they can either vote for one person or the other, or abstain. Then the only question is, does it take 50% or 60% to make a decision? And I don't know.
I disagree. When you pull something, which is what I did, you need to vote on pulling the recommendation. If you agree to pull the recommendation, hold on. If you agree to pull the recommendation, then we go on to a vote. But
So if we do a question on pulling that item, that one would require 60%, correct?
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
60% to pull an item. I must say, I've never ever heard of that. When you pull an item from the consent calendar, basically any member can pull an item from the consent calendar.
Well, this one's a new business, but nevertheless.
And isn't that what the bylaws say? That if it isn't agreed to on the floor, then it's pulled. Then we have a vote. I mean, I don't really care a lot, but I think that's what it is.
But I think we discussed this at the very beginning when I set up the procedures as well, that if it comes with the recommendation from the executive committee, that was a simple majority. If it is something that is different from the executive committee, then it's 60%, including like the
but that would mean that it takes a simple majority to pull it. Then is what you're saying. If it's coming from, you have a recommendation from the board, from the executive committee, we vote. If more than half of people say yes, we agree with that, fine. But if more than half say no, they don't agree with it, then we go to a vote between the people.
I disagree. It needs 60% to pull to overturn the recommendation and then vote.
Okay. Is there any comments from anyone else from the club? Karen Rosenthal?
In a general organization, yes, it can be pulled, but I think it generally is 50% of the vote to pull to approve of the nomination. And then if it's not approved to be pulled, or if it is approved to be pulled, then it would be the 60% between the two candidates or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's correct,
You're on the
Karen.
right track, but you just got to fulfill it.
That was my understanding too, but I want to make sure that we're taking care of the comments that were made at the very beginning of the meeting where people wanted to pull this item.
No, you pull it on a vote, and if more than half of the members say yes, then you pull it, and then you vote on the two candidates, and you need the 60%.
Yeah, I think that's correct, Karen.
So say that again.
It's a 50% vote whether to pull it. Once you pull, if you don't pull it, then the recommendation stands. If you get 50% and we go to a vote between them, then it takes 60% to endorse.
Okay, and is everyone, do we have, Is that, are there comments from anyone else on moving forward in that direction?
That sounds fair. I think that sounds fair. Let's do it that way. I'm all for fair.
We're good with that then? So then the question will be, and let me set up a poll question.
Yeah. Well, he's looking for encouragement from somebody else.
So then the question on this one is, should we pull the executive committee recommendation?
Right.
Yes.
And that's a simple yes or no.
Did you put it on the,
No, I'm typing it up.
oh, did I miss something?
Isn't this what you always wanted, Karen, all this new technology?
Okay, so here is the.
Sam, would you read what you've written before you post it?
Okay, it is, should the club membership pull the recommendation from the executive committee for the Citrus College Board? Yes or no?
So a no vote means we go with the recommendation of the executive committee. Is that
Right.
correct?
No, that is not the procedural motion. Point of order.
Yeah, I think you need to add who the recommendation was
So that's-
and who the other candidate is.
That is two separate, point of order, Mr. Chair. That is two procedural motions. This is a separate one. They are not done together.
So this question is to address the pulling of the item.
Right. And
So-
yeah, I think Sam is right. We either pull it or we don't. If we don't pull it, then the recommendation stands. If we pull it, we then have a vote between the two candidates.
That's right.
We
I
still
think
need a-
that widely understood.
And we would still have to vote on the recommendation.
Right.
So it's two.
Okay, so we ready?
But Sam, could you be sure to put the name of who was recommended? Just so
Well,
people have a clear understanding of the
does it
recommendation
matter?
was.
It doesn't matter because if.
Yes, who was the candidate that was recommended? Maybe some people
No,
don't know.
because we're not talking about the candidates. We're talking about the question of the executive committee.
Yeah, they made a recommendation.
You put the name on it for the first
to-
ballot that we did. The name was on it for the first ballot that we
That's
did like
right.
this.
Right.
And that makes it more clear for us.
The executive committee endorsed so-and-so for Citrus College School Board.
Did
Do you
not
want to
endorse.
pull this recommendation, yes or no?
Everyone's cool with that then?
That's really
I
not.
think whatever people feel comfortable with.
I don't think I think the question is more about people, what I'm understanding is that the effort is to pull the recommendation that came from the executive committee. We could have recommended Mickey Mouse. It doesn't even matter. The point is that what we're doing is we're pulling that recommendation. The next question will be then on the candidates themselves.
Yeah, I understand that. But when we phrased it, the first vote, you put the candidate's name in there that was being pulled. and I don't remember who the other person was on the ballot, but it was, and then we voted to recommend Christine. But the vote before that, where we pulled it, the recommendation.
We didn't have a.
There's no pull on that one.
That's not correct, Carl. That's not what happened.
It's not.
Oh.
And by,
May I ask a question?
and by the way, the name of who was recommended was on the agenda because the report from the executive committee was posted. And so everybody knows who was recommended. That was
Right.
May I ask a
I'm
question?
sorry.
Hold on. Let me, hold on here. I'm losing who is asking to speak. Who-
Diane Ring.
Diane, go ahead.
What is the value of the executive committee's recommendation?
Based on the interviews that we had a couple weeks ago, the executive committee met.
1 second.
And we discussed the candidates and then we made the recommendation to the committee. Now, the value is we put those names out there that these are the recommended candidates based from the discussion that we had at the executive committee. And then now the membership gets to vote on that. In this case, we're hearing that there's folks that want to pull that recommendation and perhaps recommend someone else. But I think we have to procedurally go through that exercise.
Was everybody able to listen to these interviews that the executive committee had?
Those were not recorded, no. But they were open.
Your recommendations are the executive committee that you were elected to do. These are your recommendations after hearing all the candidates, correct?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget that.
You could be there.
Let's not forget that.
And the interviews are on our YouTube.
The interviews are, and then we also sent out the questionnaires to everybody. And we did receive all the questionnaires that went out to everyone. We didn't have the questionnaire from Mr. Salas ahead of time because it was sent to an incorrect email. So, but we did include it afterwards to the whole membership. So any other questions or comments before we post this next poll?
I would like to make a comment to the people who are confused. This is the procedure that we used was part of the procedure from our endorsement section of our bylaws. So we didn't just make it up.
All right.
The endorsement is the executive committee makes their recommendations to the body, and that is part of our bylaws.
And on some of them, we didn't have consensus, and that's where then we posed that question to the membership. But on the ones that we did have a recommendation, we put those names out there. So, all right. So if there's no other questions or comments, I will post the question to the club.
Sam, did you post the poll? I have no poll.
Was posted.
Oh, never mind, it's come up. Got it.
I have not.
Mr. Chair, have you seen from a comment from Mrs. Batts that there's a member who's been kicked out and she's trying to rejoin?
Okay, did we get everyone? Did you get a thank you from me if you voted via text?
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Yes.
You see the comment in the chat regarding Christy Anderson. She was on the call and she was somehow disconnected. Was she allowed? I think she's waiting in the waiting room.
Got it.
Can you let her back in, please?
She's in.
Thank you, sir.
I did not get a okay from you, Sam. Or thanks.
I got yours, Karen. Thank you.
Sam, you got Stacy and Sean?
Hold on. Stacy and Sean, I did not get yours, Sean.
Okay.
Sam, did you get Suzanne Hall?
No, I did not.
Okay, I did vote. I think there might be a problem. Sam, can you resend that vote question?
No.
It's I can't take it down. It's on the screen. It's still in progress. So it should still be on the screen. If I take it down, then it has to start all over.
And Sam, I sent you a chat, private chat for Stacy and I.
Oh, got it. Got it.
Sam, mine's not on my screen. Can I text you then?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I've got to get that phone number again.
909 964
964
2047.
2047. Thanks.
Did you text me yet? Got it.
I just did.
Got it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the poll and do some calculation. Got it. Okay, hold on.
a little comic relief. I decided you're not seeing me tonight because I'm having a very bad hair day, very bad skin day. I didn't pay $70,000 to get the groomer that Trump did, or whatever the millions were he paid. Anyway, I'm choosing not to be seen tonight.
Oh, Diane, everybody.
Thank you, Diane.
You look good compared to me, Kim.
Oh, it must be the lighting. I had a stage lighter come in and no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't.
Diane, I've had a bad hair day for about 25 years. And the last 6 months has been worse than ever. So.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm having a great hair day.
I would treat you in a second.
You have a no hair day.
If we still have half our hair after 4 years of Trump, then we're doing okay.
Hasn't this been a crazy 24 hours? Wow. That New York Times stuff was dynamite. I hope it works.
That's why I'm still a subscriber.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, for his supporters, I think they're simply going to say, wow, look how cool he is. He managed not to pay any taxes. I wish I could do that.
But how many of them are there?
Well, 35 to 40%.
We need the others. We need the others badly.
Lost by 70,000 votes in 3 states in 2016.
It's crazy.
You know, the base
just
thinks he beat the he beat the deep state. You know, he's successful, but it's the swing voters might care about this.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Okay, here's the results.
Sorry.
So we had a total of 74 people votes on this one. And the total, including the ones texting, were 41 yes and 32 no's. So it's 55.
Sorry, it's bullshit. Bye.
Mm-hmm. 43%, 55% yes, and 43% no.
So now we go to a vote of the 2 candidates.
So does anyone want to check my math on that? 74 voters total, 41 yes, 32 no's.
Well, it's clearly more than 50%, and that's all we need.
I thought it was 60.
No, we made it.
60 is the next one.
Next
Oh,
one, 60.
Okay,
That's on the next one.
sorry.
Hold on.
So what happens if you don't get to 60 on the next one?
Nobody gets 60, we don't endorse.
Okay, so then we were, so 55, 44% is what I got. Let me go ahead and stop sharing this. So now the vote will be for the Citrus College endorsement between the 2 candidates.
Right.
Or abstain.
No, it should just be the 2 candidates.
It should just be the 2 candidates. You're going to.
Same, it's the same procedure as District 1. We've decided we're going to choose between them. So now we put the 2 names up. If nobody gets 60%, we don't endorse. If either candidate gets 60%, that candidate.
Don't check out. They're going to have a vote. It wasn't 60. No, check back in. They're going to have a direct vote between the 2.
Well, if Karen
Had a mic on.
here is Diane. So.
Hot mics.
Sorry.
Okay, hold on 1 second so that I could redo the poll. Okay.
We owe you a keg of beer when this is over, Sam.
I'm telling you, I think I'm going straight to the tequila.
That's not a bad idea either. I'll buy.
All right, so let me do an edit on this one real quick. Well,
This is just the two candidates then.
yeah.
Andy's buying the first round on Elvira, Sam.
Um, Okay, I have, so the question is going to be endorsement for Citrus College board. Laura Bollinger or Joe Salas? Everyone okay with that?
And it takes 60% to endorse.
60%, whoever gets 60%. Let me. Okay. Everyone ready to vote?
Sam, you never told us who won the Trump-Biden vote.
That was a landslide.
I missed that one.
The cookie cheated.
Diane, are you supporting any of the Senate candidates in other states?
Yes, I've sent money to Maine, to to South Carolina, to Kentucky, to whatever. Yes, I am.
Don't forget Colorado.
They need money too. I mean, everybody needs money, of course.
That's a tight race, yeah.
How close is that in the polls?
I think we're up by 3 last time I looked.
That's great. I think what's happening in South Carolina is fabulous. Let's just.
Harrison.
If we can do South Carolina, that would make my night.
Oh, I know. To get rid of that gas. God.
He's been to Claremont.
The only one better than that would be Kentucky.
Yes, absolutely. Of course, you guys, some of you guys know I spend a lot of time in Maine, not this year, but I'm really supporting the one that's working in Maine. She's the Speaker of the House there.
Yeah.
Against Susan Collins.
Maine would be great.
Some are there, right, Diane?
I beg pardon?
Some are there, right?
We have a place there, but I didn't make it there this year, of course. Whatever. But the interesting thing that even true Democrats that
they're all doing fine.
Am I bothering people?
Not bothering me.
When I've talked to people that in the service industries and stuff in Maine, especially their husbands who work for Bath Iron Works, they're torn because she brings home the bacon, and Bath Iron Works is the bacon in Maine. Absolutely, they build ships, and I can't tell you how much of that economy is dependent on that one business.
Are we talking day cruisers? What kind of boats?
No, U.S. Navy.
Oh, okay.
Destroyers.
All right.
Big boats.
Gotcha. Warships.
All right. Did everyone online or everyone for texting, did everyone vote? Did you get a thank you from me?
I don't ever get a thank you from you, Sam, but I think I
Sam.
voted.
Sam, it's Suzanne Hall again. I did not get anything from you.
I got your vote, Suzanne.
Thank
Did you get mine all these times? I never got a thank you.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Diane, many of us are not getting thank yous.
But that's okay.
Sam, just
Later.
Okay.
He's just sending thank yous to people who call in or text.
Yeah.
Those of us who submitted our votes are not getting thank you, which is fine.
Gotcha.
Let's see. I'll go ahead and end the poll then. Make sure I have the right number here.
I just wanted to let you know, I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna go to bed.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Who's going to take a shower?
Careful, careful.
That's Marta, right, Louis?
Yeah.
Tell Marta I said hello.
The real Martha. The real Martha.
The real Marta.
I had to have my credentials checked when I came in.
And what part of Maine do you go to in the summer?
Mid-coast near Booth Bay Harbor.
Oh, I love it. That was the first vacation Martina and I ever took, was to Booth Bay Harbor.
It's wonderful.
Oh God, I love it. Yeah. What's the name of that the old tavern that as you come in on your left?
Oh God.
It's got great
Yes,
food.
yes, I know. I eat there all the time. I'm blanking. They closed this year. I don't know if they'll come back or not.
Thistle Inn.
The Thistle Inn, thank you.
That's right. You're right. Thistle Inn. Well, you think they may have closed permanently?
I don't know.
God, I
I've
hope
been hearing different things. You know, every state's situation is different. And of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
Tourists weren't asked to come, and then they were asked to come, and whatever, and it's a mess. You know,
It sure is.
we're all, you know, the whole country's suffering greatly. Our economy,
And if you go around the other side, the other part of the sound, there's a place there that has absolutely the best lobster rolls I've ever eaten.
All right.
Just incredible.
I'm going to go ahead and share the results.
You're talking about Red's Eats?
I don't recall. I don't remember the name of it.
So the total number of votes on this one was actually 75 when you include all the outside ones. And it was 34 for Laura, 41 for Joe. So that's 45% versus 55% for Joe.
So nobody cracks the 60% mark.
No.
Right.
So then we're silent.
So no endorsement on the Citrus College one. And for what?
So 59%, that's pretty close.
So that's before
it needed to be 60.
It's actually 55%. So I will take pictures of my chicken scratch so that people can see what I'm writing down. Just so that everyone knows it's.
We still have to make our mind up what we're doing with the second seat for the school board.
Right. No, we're almost there. All right, let me go ahead and turn this one off. Okay, so for the first seat for the school board, we have Chris, let's see, as the recommendation that came from the executive committee.
So that stands unless somebody from the floor asks for a vote. So if the body is happy with that, then that stands. We go on to the second seat. If the body wanted to challenge it, they, just like they did with this one, they could do it. So the first thing we need to find out, and we can do this verbally, is does anyone want to pull this one? If there's nobody who wants to pull it.
Does anyone want to pull
Move
this?
to approve the recommendation for Kristen Ticha for the first school board seat. Claremont Democratic.
Second.
Okay. All those in
I'm seconding.
So is anybody unhappy with it?
Well,
It doesn't matter. It's been approved. And now we have to vote.
is there anyone opposed to that motion? So do we still want to go through the poll on this one then?
I don't.
We'll just say acclamation.
Okay. That gives me some counting here. Okay, so for the second seat, we have, all right, I'm kind of losing it here. Let me see.
Hey, Sam, I'll run over some bourbon if you want some.
I know. Okay, hold on.
Do you have a couple gallons? I think that's what he'll need.
I thought he was talking about tequila.
Yeah, no, I'm a tequila guy.
Diane, dirty
There's
finish.
Mexican bourbon.
No such thing as Mexican bourbon. It has to be from Kentucky to be called bourbon.
I guess that's true.
So we did agree, just to refresh everyone's memory, we did agree that we do want to make an endorsement for that second seat, right? No conflict there. So the question is going to be straight up for the second seat on the school district. The executive committee found the following candidates qualified, however, had no consensus. Please select one of the following: Kathy Archer or Bob Fass. Are we ready for the poll on this one?
Just before we do it, again, just like before, this is 60%.
60%.
If nobody gets 60%, then we don't endorse.
Okay, we're launching the poll. Here we go.
Sam, I missed the vote to endorse a second person. We had a vote whether or not we wanted to endorse a second.
That was that was one of the first votes that we had.
Yes.
So please text me your votes for those who want to vote on this one.
What a mess. Just, well, I'm ready. I'm about this shambles. And also, because I've already written. I'm starting a new document.
You, Karen. Abstains, you mean? Or like, oh, yeah, I see. I got it. No problem. Yep. All right, thank you. All right.
Dave Niemer, I like your shirt. Election is coming, very Game of Thrones-ish.
Yeah, it's even nonpartisan. I mean, not really, but it's unassailable. I thought I was going to be able to wear it to all kinds of events, and then it was 2020, so I just have to do it on Zoom once in a while.
Please text me your vote if you want to vote on this one.
Does anybody have any funny stories about Zooms? I have one. So the woman was on Zoom and her husband comes out of the shower. I guess he had his underwear on, but that was it. And comes in, didn't realize she was on Zoom. And then she's waving her arms saying, stop, don't come in. Well, he came in and turned around very quickly and left the room. A little embarrassed.
Or Jen.
Pardon me?
I said, poor Jim.
No, it wasn't Jim. It was a friend. She said he was in his tidy whities and came walking in.
I don't care who you are. That's never pretty.
All right. Ready to end this vote or this poll? All right. Let me do the count here. 52.
Okay. Yeah. In some of those houses? Okay, well. Yeah, that's another thing. Okay, I don't know. I gotta hang up. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Okay. I'm going to share the results. All right, so on this one, we had a total of 57 votes. And Kathy is on there for, she's at 44% and Bob is at 56%. So we didn't achieve 60% on this one either.
I'm seeing on my thing that it's 62%.
So
to
yeah,
38.
that's the, so there were an additional,
Text messages.
an
Oh,
additional
text message.
five votes
Okay.
that came in text messages. So
Gotcha.
it was a total of 57 votes and then 25 and 32. So
And carrier pigeon and smoke signals.
So no, no consensus. Are we saying no consensus? Is that terminology cool with everyone?
No recommendation, I believe.
No recommendation?
Debbie?
Yeah, no endorsement, right?
No endorsement, right.
Not reach a consensus on the endorsement.
Okay. All right, and then the last one is Three Valleys Municipal Water District. We were asked by Danielle Soto to make a recommendation to recommend her. We talked about it at the executive committee, and we put her name up as a recommendation.
Mr. Chair, move to approve. Daniel Soto for Three Valleys Water District.
Is there a second?
Second.
And all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Seeing none, okay, we'll endorse Danielle by acclamation. All right, I think we're good. Do we want to do the recap then? So for the Democratic Club will have for District 1. Who do we say for District 1? I need a reminder here.
Christine.
Christine.
Maggiota.
So recommendation for Christine, or I'm sorry, endorsement for Christine for District 1, Michael Sodolfo for District 5. No recommendation for the Citrus College Board. Chris for the first seat for the school district, no recommendation for the second seat, and Danielle Soto for Three Valleys Municipal Water District. All good?
Ah, thank God.
Thank you very much, sir, for your patience with us.
Hey, guys, I do appreciate the club. And one thing that we did set up, and a big welcome to all our new members. We hope that you stick around and despite, whether it was for supporting your favorite candidate, at the end of the day, the best poll that wins is the one that the voters vote on. But we do appreciate you joining the club, and we hope that we see you continue to be active. We have a really big race ahead of us beyond the local level. So join us every Monday where we have slam meetings, real quick, 30 to 45 minute meetings, every Monday to just go over some of the other items that are on the ballot. And then there's a whole bunch of
Have
other
spell
events
check
that are
on here.
coming
How
up
do they spell?
that are, you could catch them on Facebook. So even though you're a member, we encourage you to also friend us on Facebook, because that's kind of our means of communication as well. So, anyone else have any other?
Yes, Sam, I just want to there's some people who came on late to the call.
Yes.
I do have Joe Biden. For those who don't have homes with a lawn or I do have window signs. They're fairly large. They're free. People can come, bring them. I can give you my address. You can come over and get one, or I can maybe give one to you.
That's cool, Joe. And I think we ran out of signs at the club for the lawn signs. So we are directing people to the headquarters, the Inland Valley headquarters. So there's some purchase there. But yeah.
Sam, I have 3 or 4 signs left that I bought, if anybody needs them, yard signs.
Fantastic. Thank you, Diane. Can you just take them from your lawn?
No, they're right inside my gate. Anyway, give me a call, 625-1130.
All right, folks, if that's no other comments or questions, thank you all very much for joining us tonight, and let's go blue in November. All right, good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Hear you,
Thank you.
Sandy.
Good night. Thank you. Bye.